Hi Shirley, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, pretty well as well. Thank you very much for asking. Okay, wonderful. It's a new week. Tell me, how are you doing?
Oh, today I'm moving for the new place, so I had new room. That is so near for the university.
Hmm. Okay,
It's a
interesting.
long day.
Oh yes, yes, certainly. What else?
Today I don't go. I don't go for the university. I finish my moving, and I need when. Oh, I went. Sorry, I went for the new for knitters furniture. I don't say
Furniture?
word
Yes,
for
furniture.
yeah, and another thing for the kitchen because this is a room, but we have a two rooming, so that is the place news. So we don't have nothing for the kitchen. We don't have glass or play or another thing. So that
Yes.
is the only the uh, microwave uh, cow.
Hmm.
Yeah, another how do you say electrodoméstico?
I would just call them kitchen supplies or devices because I don't think there's a specific term for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But yeah, wonderful,
uh
interesting.
yeah,
What else?
yeah. No, that's I going a new place for the supermarket. I don't know, but this is my first time that was dollar tree. Yeah,
Okay, yes,
so
I think I know it. Hmm.
I go for the glass or play. So I am here for 2 months. So that's a short time. So I
Yes.
need the
Oh, very interesting. I remind that when I went to the US, I was brought to a supermarket which was called Costco. Have you been there, Costco, or there's no Costco in your state?
No, the problem here in this city for the Baltimore, that's we don't have a near supermarket or market, big market. So that is we have a market that is the neighborhood, the dollar tree for the a block, but the supermarket like Target or another market that is I don't know 2 3 millas here. That is
Yeah,
only
miles.
Target.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I don't I don't know another market where that is big or no? Probably that is
Yes.
how the city or first.
Hmm. But well, that's interesting, right? Because well, it's America, right?
Yeah.
You expect to find a lot of supermarkets to to have people go in there and to have them everywhere, right? For example, when I was in Washington, something that surprised me very much is the enormous quantity of a Starbucks in that city. Like, well, of course, in my case, of course, I was in Seattle, and Seattle is basically the capital of Starbucks because the first Starbucks in human history was created there. I mean, the original shop is in Seattle, and maybe it's because of that, but
Okay.
there were like, well, in my memory, there were Starbucks at every corner. So it was impressive. And here, of course, in
Wow.
Santa Cruz, we just have one, right? Well,
Yeah.
now there are three actually. Now well, there are more because now there's one in the 24th square. and there's one also there's one in the IC Norte. Okay, I don't know if you remind that supermarket, but now there's one there as well. But well, wonderful, very interesting. Shirley, I am very glad to listen that you are moving, that you are having a great time. Are you making friends, by the way? Tell me about your friends.
Yeah, I that is my first day in the rooming, but I had a rooming for the here that is a student for business. But in my lab in where I working, so I had two friends. That is one America, but he has family India. So
Yes.
this is and another friend that is he he's from Colombia.
Oh,
I'm working in international health, so we have different people and other nationality. So we have American, Chinese, Colombia, me, Bolivia. So
yes.
we
Oh,
have
wonderful.
Peruvian. Yes,
Oh, great, great. I am glad then that you are representing us right now. So wonderful honor. Okay, congratulations again. Very good. Try to make as much friends as you can, right? Um, talk to them, especially with Americans, right? Because probably people from Latin America, they are going to be tempted to speak to you in Spanish, right? Peruvian
yeah.
people, Colombian people, they are, yeah, likely going to speak to you in Spanish. So, I mean, I am not saying that you should not be their friend, but nonetheless, if I were you, I would take advantage of the situation, and I would just go with people who are from, I don't know, England, from America, in order to practice English, right? But of course, sometimes it's it's not quite easy to find friends from those nations, right? But it's fine,
Yeah.
wonderful. I hope you're making a good of friends then. Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's get into the class. Sure. Sound. Wanted to practice with you some phrasal verbs before we start. Oh, by the way, how was your time or your performance with the homework? You are taking advantage
Uh,
of the extra days that I gave you?
I'm working in that. Yeah,
Mhm.
the big problem in that is the phrase over. That is complicated. Uh,
Yes.
I working today in that, but it is it's complicated. You need the what mean that word. Probably not the same like you write. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's his memory.
Yes, it's just memory. You have said something that is
Yeah.
super true. It's no more than that because for these phrasal verbs, there is no like an structure or anything. It's a matter of memory, learning as many phrasal verbs as you can, and especially those which are useful, of course, right? Because Americans don't use all of the possible phrasal verbs, but there are some that are tremendously used, and those which are very used should be the ones that you should be trying to learn or to memorize. Quizzes like this. Okay, so let's go with this one. Start. Let's see if we can learn more. All of the ones that we have learned to this point, okay, all the phrasal verbs that we have learned until this point, I think they are very useful. I mean, because until this time, I don't think that we have found one of those phrasal verbs that I could say it's one of those that nobody uses. I think that all of the ones that we have been learning about until this point, they are all useful and you should memorize them because they are super used. People in America use them. Let's see if in these quizzes we find that type of phrasal verb, which is the one you should try to practice, or maybe we are finding those phrasal verbs which are more sophisticated and not all the people use. Okay, so with this one, um, here we are. Okay, let's go. Okay, yes, let's start this. Oh, this. Okay, now. Boredom. Okay, let's go. Let's get into this. Let's see. Number one, look up to. Do you remind this one?
Respetar the poor.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to okay, we're going to access to Google Docs. Google Docs. Okay, there we are. And we are going to make sure that all the phrasal verbs that we learn are saved. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. Look at this. Yeah, and add to this. Okay, so we have this one. There we are. Look up to. Now, notice that there was one phrasal verb that we have learned, which was look up as well. And if you remind, look up was to look for something in a dictionary, if you remind, right?
Yeah,
We have
only
seen,
look, yeah.
yes, exactly. But nonetheless, this one here, as I told you, many of the phrasal verbs do have many or multiple meanings. Okay, they don't have just one meaning, but they have, as I say, multiple meanings. That is to say, sometimes, remind what we talked about last class, right? Depending on the context, phrasal verbs can vary. They can mean different things. In this case, for example, look up to. If I say, let's say, you should look up to her. Look up to her. If I use the phrasal verb in this context, look up to her, of course, I'm meaning respetar, right? Deberías respetarla. You should look up to her. But if I say, for example, you should look up for that expression, of course, because of the context. In this case, when I say look up, I mean buscar en un diccionario, ¿verdad? Deberías buscar esa expresión en un diccionario, right? You should look out for that expression. So as I say, context is everything. I think that practice that our professors taught us, that when we don't know what a word means, we should go directly to the dictionary. It's quite wrong and harmful, because it is not dictionary or the dictionary what determines the meaning of the words, but context. Okay, so remind, context is everything. Okay, so look up to, we have seen that it can also mean, okay, it can be buscar en diccionario, but now we have seen that alternatively, it could also mean what? It could also mean respetar. Okay, respetar. Wonderful. Let's continue. Number 2, come up with. Okay, we have seen this one. Defender, tener una buena relación, pensar o buscar. Come up with.
I'm not sure for that. The one, defender.
Okay. No, in this case is pensar. Let me explain you this one. I think that we have never mentioned it, or not sure, but this one is super used. Okay, this is one of the phrasal verbs you should definitely memorize. Come up. Okay, come up. Let me show you. Come up means, yeah, it means pensar, but it has another direction. I would say it should be, or it could be better translated into idear. This would be a better translation, I would say, because let me tell you what. When I was being part of some programs or an international relations scholarship program, I had some partners from England, and our task for that particular summit was to sign a policy paper in order to help European populations, European indigenous populations, to remain untouched by society and to have the opportunity to, of course, to thrive in the country they were living in, and also to have their culture respected. When we were discussing this, my partners from England said, okay, guys, we need to come up with ideas. We need to come up with ideas. So every single time they use this phrasal verb, they always related it to ideas. So that's the reason why I think that come up would be better translated as idear, not just as pensar, but idear. Because in this case, you're saying to have an idea, to make some possibilities, that is to say, to recommend things, okay? Ideas, possibilities, whatever, okay? Is that understandable?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, wonderful. So I would translate it like that, and the
No.
pronunciations, of course, come up. Yeah, you were saying?
No, that's the pronunciation.
Okay,
Nan?
come up. Yeah,
Conan?
yeah, come up. Yeah, come up. To come up. Yes, come up.
Come up.
Let's come up with ideas. Come up. That's idea. Okay.
Come up.
So idear. There you have. Okay, let's go. Get along with. What about this one?
A llevarse bien.
Yes, let's use our joker. Yeah, there you have. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Very good. We had some double points. When you realize you can use the number keys to answer a question. Oh, really? We can. Okay.
Yeah.
Throw up. Oh, this is a very good one. Do you know? Throw up?
No.
I guess, no?
Vomitar. I don't know.
You're actually right. Is
Probably,
vomitar.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're actually right. Those, for example, this one,
Wow.
it's quite funny because although it's a phrasal verb, is because of course the original verb for saying vomitar would be vomitate. Yes. Nonetheless, Americans never use this one. They always say throw up, excuse me. Okay, so whenever you want to express somebody who is vomiting, say throw up, because vomiting for them sounds like, I don't know, quiet, fancy, suena muy, no sé, muy alzado, throw up. So throw up, it's the normal one, okay? Vomitar. Vomitate is like a very fancy word. So vomitar, and the pronunciation would be, okay, no, like this. No. Throw up, like this. Throw up. Come on. All right, I don't know what's that name. Okay, there you go. So throw up. Whenever you want to say vomitar, avoid using vomitate. Okay, vomitate. It's like weird. All right, wonderful. Let down. What about this one? Let down.
I don't know for cancelar or decepcionar.
Okay, remind, for example, the song of
Yeah.
the Beatles. Don't let me down. What would you say that song is about? Cancelar or decepcionar?
Decepcionar.
Okay. Yeah, of course, right? Because the song it's "Don't Let Me Down," and it would be weird, right, to say to a girl, "No me canceles," but "No me decepciones" seems to be more rational. Okay, so here it is. Let down, decepcionar. Okay, and this is very much used. Okay, used, not used. Used. It's very much used. Decepcionar. Of course, you have a lot of verbs that express this word as well. For example, disappoint, right? Don't disappoint me would be no me decepciones. But nonetheless, this phrasal verb is also very much utilized. Okay, decepcionar, don't let me down. Let down. Oh, here the pronunciation is super easy. I think it's not necessary. Okay, so let down. Wonderful. Let's continue. Get over. What about this one? Get over.
Recuperarse.
Yes, very good. Very good. Get over. This is also very used, you know, when, for example, when you have a crisis in your life, and let's say, I don't know, you you were fired from your job or something like that, or I don't know. In my case, let's imagine that my girlfriend, I don't know, broke me up. So somebody could say to me, hey, get over, man. No, supéralo. Get over. Superar. No. I would say this is the most common meaning. Superar. Get over. Get over it. Supéralo. And the pronunciation would be get over. I would say I always pronounce it like this. Get over. Not with T, but with R. Get over.
Get over.
Yes, get over. Like that. Yes, exactly. Get over. Continue. Take effort.
Ser como alguien.
Yeah, very good. Wonderful. Remember, we use this one in the context of a family, right? We're trying to take after a family, right? Get up. What about, oh, this is super common. Get up, your mind.
Salir de la cama.
Yes. It actually, they should have not translated the word like that, because it is more like levantarse, not just from your bed. It can be levantarse in any context. For example, if you are sad, right? I mean, in the sense that you are in class and you are sad, of course, your professor can say, please get up. I want to make an exercise with you. And you get up, right? Doesn't mean just getting up from your bed. It can be in any context. If you are in a seat, or if you are in, I don't know, sat in the ground, it's okay, right? What about this one? Figure out.
Entender o descubrir.
Yes, very good. This one, yes. This one is hyper common. Yeah, very good, very good. I guess you responded to this one correctly, because it's super common. Like, you have probably seen this one, and because of the context, you realize that it had to mean something like descubrir, darse cuenta. So, for example, this one is super common. Figure out. For example, Americans, I think they almost never say discover. Oh, I discovered this. They always say, oh, I figure it out. No, I figure it out. Lo descubrí. Or let's figure this out. No, resolvamos esto. Descubramos qué onda. So this is super common. Yeah. Descubrir, resolver. That context. Descubrir, resolver. Descubrir, resolver. And the pronunciation, figure out. Like that. Figure out.
Figure out.
Yes, like this. Figure out.
Figure
out. Yes, figure out. So it's figure, como fideo, figure out.
Figure
out.
Out.
Yes, exactly. Yes, because of this one, right? This would be out, and figure would be this one. Figure. Right, there we are. Figure out. Super important phrasal verb to memorize. Grow up. We have seen this one.
Madurar.
Yes, exactly.
Very confused word. Grow out with N.
Oh, yes. Well, simple difference, right? Grown up, it's adulto.
Yeah.
I mean, they are related actually, right? I mean, they are not different. They are super related. Just adulto with the M. This is a noun or subject, un sujeto, grown up, adulto. And the phrasal verb, which is related because it has a relationship, right? When you're saying grow up, man, you're saying crece, no? Madura. And what are you trying to convey with that expression? To have a person becoming an adult, right? You want him to become an adult, a grown up. So grow up, crecer, madurar. Wonderful. Come up with. We have seen this one.
Buscar.
Okay, remember I gave you an explanation about this, like when I work with these English people. Remind that? Come up. I talked to you, right, about how I, yes. Remind that I told you, this should be better translated as idealizar, no? Or yes, but in this case, they use the word pensar, which is similar, right? But yes, pensar. And as I say, come up should be translated, I think, it is more appropriate, más apropiado in Spanish to translate this word here, come up, as idear, not as pensar, but as idear, because when you say come up, people who speak English always use it in that context of thinking about an idea, having any imagination, no, right? As to propose something. Okay, we are needing ideas. Please propose something. Come up with something, right? So that is the context. Idear. Venir con algo, una idea. Not just pensar as such, right? Wonderful. Let's continue. Run across. Okay, we have seen this one as well, I think, but not sure. But try to guide yourself out of context. Well, in this case, there's no context, but try to guide yourself from the options.
Hay hoja de día, but probably recuperarse o encontrar.
Recuperarse. Okay. There you are.
Encontrar.
In this case, it's encontrar. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You know, run across, encontrar. You know how, well, I mean, I don't want to give you this recommendation because maybe, as I say, it doesn't apply always. It sometimes happens that you can know by the words here, what could the phrasal verb mean? Sometimes, but I don't recommend you to look at the words because, as I say, what determines the meaning of the phrasal verb is the context, right? So it's better to mistake and to learn it than to say, okay, I want to look at the words and from here, or having this as my basis to guess what this phrasal verb means. It is not a good strategy. The good strategy to know what a phrasal verb means is, again, context. In this case, of course, you didn't have context. That's the reason why you were not able. But just in case, run across, or run across means encontrarse, right? I run across with my uncle. Me encontré a mi tía. Encontrarse. The pronunciation, run, como diciendo rana, run across. Run across. Like that. Okay? Como una rana, run across. Wonderful. There you are. Yes, run across. Okay, what about this one? Look after. Okay, we have seen this one.
Water, cuidar. That's it, cuidar.
Wonderful. There we are.
Yeah.
Let's go with supersonic for ultra fast gameplay. Okay, why not? Okay, I think that we're not going to have much time. Stand up to.
Defender. Stand up.
Yeah, wonderful. There you are. Very good. Okay, we stop. Let's go with this one. Stand up. This is super common as well. But now I want to warn you here, because this word here, stand up, has a lot of meanings. Okay. To begin with, stand up, it's commonly translated as comedia. Have you ever heard that? The stand-up clubs de comedia. So stand up is not only a phrasal verb, it is a term that Americans use and also European people use as to refer comedians, okay? That is to say comedia. So stand up could also mean comedia, okay? Just in case, for example, if I say, I want to be, or what I want to dedicate to the stand-up business. If I say I want to dedicate to the stand-up business, what do I mean by this? I mean, quiero dedicarme a la comedia o al negocio de la comedia. Okay, so stand-up sometimes mean comedia. Okay, how are you going to know? Again, context. In this case, of course, you know, I want to dedicate to the stand-up of myself, whatever. I never use this one. Just I want to dedicate to the stand-up business. Quiero dedicarme al negocio de la comedia. Ahora, now, as a phrasal verb, stand up, it could also mean, okay. It could also mean pararse de frente. In the sense of, for example, imagine, well, we're just going to translate it as defender. I'm going to explain you why. So imagine, for example, that someday you are faced with the problem that somebody wants to hit your sister, let us say, right? God does not allow it, but the point is, imagine that somebody wants to hurt your sister. So what would you do? You would stand up, right? You would stand up and you would face that person and defend your sister. When you say stand up, you mean defender, but not in the common sense of defender, just like defend physically. Stand up means defender confrontando algo. Okay, that is the reason why I want to add this. Defender confrontando. Because, for example, you could defend people, and at the same time, you could not be the person in front of that situation or facing that situation. But for example, when you want to stand up for somebody or for something, you are going to do it in person, ¿no? Es defender confrontando en persona. Es, por ejemplo, como digo, cuando alguien quiere hacerle daño a un ser querido, uno va y stand-upea, es decir, ¿no? O sea, stand up, en el sentido de defender confrontando una situación, ¿ok? It's a synonym of defense. So stand up, defender, confrontando, in the sense of raising up for somebody or for something you love, ¿no? Levantarse en el sentido de para defender para una cosa que amamos, ¿no? Okay, is that clear?
That's clear.
Right, wonderful. So stand up, defender, confrontando. That's the idea. Pronunciation: stand up. No, stand up with D. Okay, stand up. All right, there you are. Let's continue. Break down. What about this one?
Dejar de funcionar.
Okay. There you are. Break down.
Yeah. This is for that. For break.
Yes. I think they didn't translate it very good as well. Probably this was something designed by an American person, somebody who does not speak Spanish, because the translations they have given are honestly very bad. I mean, terrible. In this case, breakdown means romperse. Doesn't mean dejar de funcionar. I mean, the correct translation would be romper. Romperse, breakdown. For example, watch out. Watch out. You are going to break it down. Cuidado, lo vas a romper. You're going to break it down, right? So as you can see, romperse, ¿no? O romper. Esto es como romper, para propósitos generales, romper. Okay, so break down, romper. Watch out, you're going to break it down. Lo vas a romper. Okay, and the pronunciation? Break.
Break.
Down. Right down.
Break down.
Yes, exactly. Break down. Watch out, you're going to break it down, right? Super common expression. This one is super used, by the way, Shirley. You should pay attention to this one. Break down, hyper used. And of course, as it is very common that in all languages, romper is an expression that is used in many contexts, not just for breaking physical things. As for example, let's say I break myself, right? I can break it down. But when we can also say breakdown for emotional things. Oh man, my girlfriend left me. I am so broke down, ¿no? Estoy tan quebrado, ¿no? En el sentido de me dejó mi novia, estoy quebrado, estoy roto. So the expression romper has a lot of meanings, right? Has a lot of uses. So I would recommend you to memorize this one, breakdown, romper, because you can use it in many contexts, not just physical things, but also emotionally, I don't know, physically, psychologically, a lot of things, okay?
Emotional. Okay.
Wonderful, breakdown. So let's continue. Here we are. Go back, what about this one? Go back.
Regresar a un lugar.
Yes, very good. Okay, let's go, here we are, let's continue. Cheer up, what about this one?
Hacer que una persona triste se sienta feliz.
There you are, very good, cheer up. Cheer up, I would say, again, the best translation would be, show ya, would be animar. For example, have you ever heard about cheerleaders, right? Cheerleaders, these girls in America who has this pompones, right? And they dance, right? Have you heard about that? Cheerleaders?
Yeah, I listen for.
Yeah, for example, as in High School Musical, right? When, you know, the girl and Zac Efron, and the girl is part of the cheerleaders, right? She dances and she uses all this, I don't know how to say that thing in English, but pompones. But the point is that they cheer up. Ellos animan, ellas animan. So cheer up, animar. Cheer up. Okay, cheer up. Like that. Cheer up. Let's continue. Get away with, okay?
Encontrar.
Okay. Algo malo y no ser castigado. Get away with. I mean, I would say that is not very common. I have never actually listened to somebody using that phrasal verb in that context. Get away actually means alejarse, okay? In that context that they used it, okay, the context they used in the exercise we saw, it's not a very common one. Don't memorize it like that. If you're going to memorize this phrasal verb, memorize it like this, alejarse or alejar, okay? The pronunciation will be get away, like that, get away. That's the way I pronounce it, get away, okay, get away. And you can use, for example, this phrasal verb in sentences super natural, as for example, get away from me. I've listened to this phrase so many times in movies, get away from me, right? Aléjate de mí, get away from me, right? So as you can see, alejarse is the correct meaning here. Get away, alejarse, all right? Let's continue. Okay, look up to, we have seen this one.
Buscar.
No, right, respetar. Well, I mean, it also means buscar. Yeah, context. The people or the persons who designed this are not very good at this because I mean they are not given context, right? Without context, how are we supposed to know, right? What it means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dejar de hablar.
Super. Yes. As you can see, there are some phrasal verbs that are super used, right? Shut up. Okay. Use this. Pass out. Oh, this is super used as well. What about this one? Pass out.
Perder la conciencia.
Yeah, there you are. Pass out. Pass out. I mean, well, yes, perder la conciencia, but not in that particular sense. Pass out means como que I'm looking for a correct word in Spanish. Like this. Desfallecer. more like this. Because, for example, when you say, he's passing out, ¿no? ¿En qué sentido uno diría, he's passing out? Lo diría cuando alguien está muriendo. He's passing out, ¿no? Está desfalleciendo. He's passing out. Or something like, for example, he passed out, ¿no? Él desfalleció. He passed out, ¿no? Desfalleció. Entonces, I would say that the correct translation is desfallecer. This is a common one as well. Pass out. I would recommend you to memorize it, desfallecer, because of course, the only meaning, or this is not the only case in which you can use this phrasal verb. We use desfallecer in Spanish for many contexts, right? For example, if you have done exercise, oh man, I'm passing out, ¿no? Si uno hizo ejercicio, uf, me desfallezco, right? I'm passing out. So you can learn this one. It's super easy, okay? Pass out, desfallecer. And the pronunciation, pass out, like that, pass out, okay? Wonderful, okay? Let's go with our last redemption question. Which one?
Okay, number 1.
Okay, number 1. Get away with.
Hacer algo malo y no ser castigado.
Yeah, but remind, never use, I've never listened to somebody using it with that meaning. What get away normally means is, ¿qué cosa?
Alejarse.
Yes, exactly, alejarse. Get away, alejarse. So remind, okay, get away, alejarse. All right, wonderful. So we have finished with this. Now let's come back. Okay, you won. Congratulations again, first place, Shirley. Now, let's come back to the class topics. Any questions, Shirley, about this? Anything that I can help you with?
No, I don't have question. This is
Okay.
memory. Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. And not only memory, you know, I think in this case, I recommend you to watch movies. Because as I told you, I think some weeks ago, many of the phrasal verbs that I learned to use were thanks to watching movies in English, of course, and with subtitles in English, and observing when did the American people use those particular phrase verbs. So because when you know where could an American use a phrasal verb, then you say, oh, it's super easy to remember. For example, I don't know, in a movie, a phrase that I have listened innumerable times is get away from me, get away from me. When somebody's fighting, right? Get away from us. So get away, I rapidly linked that word or that phrasal verb with alejarse. Get away, get away. So my recommendation would be to watch movies in this case, because when you practice for the TOEFL exam, okay, when that time comes, never watch movies in English when you practice for a TOEFL exam, because that English in movies is not the English that you're going to be evaluated about in the TOEFL exam, okay? It's going to be a different English. It's going to be academic English. And when the time comes when you have to practice for the TOEFL exam as such, the exam, never practice by watching movies or series. Practice by listening to classes in English. That is to say, history classes, astronomy classes, mathematics classes, chemistry classes, because that English or that particular expressions of academic terminology, academic vocabulary, that is the English is going to be useful for you in the TOEFL exam. For now, it's fine. Practice with movies in order to learn phrasal verbs, but later, remind, for the TOEFL exam, just classes, okay, or lectures. Okay. Wonderful. Let's continue. Okay, we have done this a long time ago. Okay. Present imperfect continuous. Yes, we have seen this. Okay, wonderful. So let's go with this one. Superlative adjectives. This is a very interesting topic. Let's get into it. We use superlative adjectives to compare 3 or more people or things. I'm sorry. When we use superlative adjectives, we are saying that a person or thing has the most or the least of a certain quality. compared to the other members of the group. Coach, for example, you are the strongest player on the team, Nick. You're also the most dependable of all the players. Okay, so in order to explain this in simple words, sometimes we have the situation or the scenario in which we have to compare things, right, Shirley? We have to compare things. For example, if you want to go and shop and you want to purchase cell phones, okay? Imagine that you want to purchase a cell phone. When you are evaluating and deciding what cell phone to purchase, maybe you're going to think in your mind, okay, this is the most expensive one.
Yeah.
But this is also the least qualified one, or this is the least useful one, or this is the least multifunctional, ¿no? Uno podría decir, este es el más caro, este es el menos funcional, este es el menos, no sé, tecnológico. So, as you can see, we are sometimes in the necessity of comparing different things. And when we want to compare them, okay, considering, for example, if we have to compare, let me show you with this example, which is going to be a little bit weird, but the point. If you want to compare a cell phone with a pen, okay? Out of the series, okay, and something else, let's say a TV control, because I have my TV control here, okay? So three things, okay? So when we have a series of objects, cuando tenemos una serie de objetos, a cell phone, a pen, and a TV control. When we have a series of objects, of course, we are going to find a manner, a way to judge which of these objects or elements is the best or the worst in this particular series of objects. Siempre va a haber una manera de juzgar cuál es el mejor o el peor entre esta serie de objetos, right? It can be with regard to any category. For example, we maybe could judge them with regard to their weight. Podríamos juzgarlos, por ejemplo, con relación a su peso. En ese caso, si fuera por el peso, which one would be the slighter one? This one, right? This would be the slighter one. Este marcador sería el más delgado. If we were judging these objects, by what? By their weight, right? Si los juzgáramos por su peso, este sería el más delgado, right? El mejor. This is the slighter one. The slightest one, excuse me. And, for example, if we were judging them with regard to price, of course, this would be the best one, right? Or the most expensive, or the cell phone, not the TV control. But no, if you ask, for example, I don't know, my grandma, which one does she use the most? ¿Cuál usa más ella? She's not going to say the cell phone because it's my grandma, right? She's 70 years old. She's not going to say the pencil because she doesn't write. She's going to say what? The TV control because she likes to watch TV, right? Or series. So that's the idea. That when we have a series of objects, there are a lot of ways to judge them. Hay muchas formas de juzgar las cosas cuando tenemos una serie de objetos. So the thing is that when you want to name the best or the worst in each category, you're going to use superlative. Cuando sea que queramos nombrar los mejores o los peores en cualquier categoría, we're going to use superlative. Vamos a usar superlativos, okay? That's the idea. I hope the explanation helped. It was super unplanned. All right. Wonderful. Let's go. So, I'm going to write down this, superlative adjectives. Okay, let's go with this one. Superlative adjectives. Adjectives. All right, there we are. Now, so as I said, when we have a series of items, when we have a series of items, and we want to judge them according to different categories. We use superlative adjectives to express which one is the best or the worst. Cuando tenemos una serie de ítems y queremos juzgar a esos ítems de acuerdo a diferentes categorías, utilizamos adjetivos superlativos para expresar cuál de ellos es el mejor o el peor, right? According to different categories. We are not here linked to a specific category. We can use a category to judge any object, okay? And any type of object with regard to any category, okay? So let's continue with some examples and some structure. So, for example, in this one, Shirley, in this illustration here, the coach says, you are the strongest player on the team, Nick, okay? In this case, which one would be the superlative adjective? Would be the strongest, right? You are the strongest player. Eres el más fuerte, el jugador más fuerte en el equipo. And also in this other sentence, you are also the most dependable of all the players. If we want to find here which one is the superlative adjective, well, obviously here the superlative adjective would be the most dependable. That would be the superlative adjective. Why? Because in both cases, the words, for example, strongest and the phrase the most dependable express what? The best of something, right? En ambos casos, la palabra strongest acá, and in this case, the most dependable, esta expresión, ambas significan lo mejor en distintas categorías, right? For example, you are the strongest player. Eres el más fuerte. So in this case, the coach is judging his players with regard to their strength. En este caso, el coach está juzgando a sus jugadores con relación a sus fuerzas. But nonetheless, in the other sentence, the coach is also judging their players with regard to the level of dependence the team has on them. En la segunda ilustración, el coach está juzgando a los jugadores con relación a qué tanto depende el equipo de ellos. And he says to Nick, you are also the most dependable of all the players. As you can see, two different categories, right? The first one is strength and the other one dependence. But in any case, or for any category, we can use superlative adjectives. Okay? It's clear?
Yeah, that's okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, there are several ways to form the superlative. For example, for short adjectives, we use the plus adjective plus est. For example, bright. Do you know what does bright mean, Shirley? Bright. This word here, bright.
Como cargar.
Okay, it means brilloso. Okay, brilloso. Algo que es brilloso. For example, I don't know, my cell phone is bright. Mi celular es brilloso. My cell phone is bright. So this is an adjective. Significa brilloso, bright. If we want to transform this adjective into a superlative adjective, we are going to use, or we are going to do it following this structure here. What is structure, you may ask? The plus adjective plus E, S, and T. For example, other illustration would be hard. Hard means difícil, right? So if you want to say the más difícil, el más difícil, you say the hardest. As you can see, what you are here augmenting is EST. And also, if you want to say, for example, the small or the most, okay, if you want to say el más pequeño, you're going to say small, which means pequeño, est, no? E, S, and T, which are the three letters you are augmenting to the word in order to transform it into what? Into a superlative adjective, okay? Let me give more examples. If I say Shirley, or okay, let's say, imagine that I have some games, some video games, okay? And I want to say that one of my video games is it's super easy to play, okay, with correspondence to the other games. How could I say that, Shirley? If one of my video games is way easier with relationship or with relationship to the other video games, if I want to express that one of them is super, super easy with relation to the others that maybe are super hard, how could I say that?
Okay.
How can you?
You can repeat. Yeah.
Okay. So I was asking, if you were, for example, okay, imagine that I have video games, okay? That I am somebody who is a person who likes to play video games. Now,
Okay,
imagine that many of my video games, okay, are difficult, hard to play. But there's one game that is super easy. So if I want to express that this game, in comparison with the other games, it's super easy, how could I say that? I could say, for example,
The legs hard.
okay, now let me show you. I mean, yes, but this game is the, how do you say fácil?
Sorry,
How do you say fácil?
easy.
Yes. But now, notice this. I'm gonna
Easier.
change here. Yes. No, not easier. In this case, I want to say que este es el más fácil. ¿Cuál es el más
EST.
fácil? Yes. What I'm gonna do here, I'm going to augment.
EST.
Yes, EST, easiest. This game is the easiest. Y aquí puedo complementar, ¿no? In my collection. No, si quiero, puedo dejarlo ahí también. ¿No? This game is the easiest. But I can also complement in my collection. So what is the idea? I'm going to copy here the structure. Right, I'm going to copy this. This is the easiest in my collection. So I want to paste this here. No. No, with that. Just pegar sin formato. Yeah. Okay, so this is the structure.
Yeah.
D plus adjective plus EST. So there are several ways to form the superlative adjective. For short adjectives, as for example, easy, we use we use the following structure. We use the following structure. D plus adjective plus EST, as you said. So for example, in this case, where am I using that? Here. EST, I'm using the, and using us, of course, the verb, right? Or excuse me, the adjective. Yes, exactly. Which in this case, it's easy, right? So as you can say, or as you can see, excuse me, what we are doing here, it's simply to express that in a series of items or elements, there is one game that is super easy in comparison with the others. And that game is going to be the easiest in my collection. Another example before we go. Let's say this well, which one could it be? Well, let's use just one of these examples here. There's not going to. Okay, hard. This is the hardest situation I have ever faced. Esta sentencia significa, esta es la situación más difícil que alguna vez he enfrentado. I have ever faced. Now, in this case, for example, imagine that it happens to me that my dog dies, right? My dog dies. So if my dog or my pet dies, I could say, right? This is the hardest situation I have ever faced. Es la situación más dura, más difícil que he enfrentado. And if I want to express that in comparison with other events in my life, this one is super hard, this is the way I can say it. Si yo quiero decir que en comparación a otras situaciones de mi vida, esta en particular es la más complicada, la forma en que se hace es de, okay? Se utiliza un adjetivo, in this case, hard, right? And just augment what? EST. That's it. This is the hardest situation I have ever faced. Any question about this, Shirley?
No, I don't have a question. That's okay.
All right, wonderful. We're going to continue with this, by the way. Don't worry, because this is a large topic. Tomorrow we are going to finalize it, so we're going to have time to do that. Okay, I'm going to save this. This August 8th or 15th. The middle of the month, right? Super fast. August 15th. Okay, there we are. Any questions, Shirley? Anything?
No, I don't have a question.
Okay, wonderful. Show student. There you are. Okay, so I'm gonna take your assistant, Shirley, and please, before you go, help me with our tradition. Okay, please. Right there you have. And let's take your assistance in a second.
I did.
All right, thank you very much, Shirley. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, Shirley. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to continue with this. Please try to remind that tomorrow is the final date for you to present your homework, or maybe you want me to give you more time until Wednesday. I can do that as well.
Yeah, probably yes. I need more time. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
I see I need to do the test for tomorrow or Wednesday, or I don't know, because I see I have asked for that.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I think that the test that I programmed the tests for Wednesday. What I'm sure I programmed for Tuesday is homework.
Okay.
But nonetheless, the exams, the tests are for Wednesday. So if you want, I can also move on your homework to Wednesday so that you work on both things at the same time. That is to say, until Wednesday. Do you want that? I can do that for you.
Okay, that's okay.
All right, wonderful. So I'm gonna do that. Don't worry. You're gonna have time then until Wednesday, not only for performing on your exams, but also for your homework. Okay, so you're having one extra day. All right.
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. I'm doing it right now, so don't worry. Once we finish the class, I'm going to be doing that. Okay. Thank you very much, Shirley, for your help or for your presence today. It's been a pleasure. Okay. Have a wonderful night, and please enjoy your visit to the US. Okay. Thank you, Shirley.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Bye.
All right. Bye bye. Have a good night.
You too.